Fits my shirt. You all come in. Let's get this live stream started on this Saturday night. Hello to you all. Come in, say hello. Hit that like and share button. Come in and say hello on this Saturday night. See what you all have going on. Let's talk about some cryptocurrency and this Fed coin real quick. Let's see who coming in. Let's do a checkup. Hello, Tony. Hello, Tony. Let me adjust my chair. All right, that might be a little better. Let's see how that looks. Get me a little higher. I don't have my backboard in the background, so I'm a little thrown off. I'm used to seeing it, so let me change this angle some. All right. Hello, MB. Hello to you. 1 second. All right, that's a little better, right? That's a little better. Hello, MB. Go Brown girl says, man, a shakeup is a light way to say it, right? That's a nice way to say it. It's going to be a shakeup and a shakedown and a shakening. It's going to be a shake up, a shake down. Bigger than earthquake status, right? Larger than an earthquake on the Richter scale. That's okay. It's also going to shake some things, transfer into cryptocurrency. We're just moving to a different economy. That's it. We're just moving to a different economy. Cheers to you as well. Beautiful vibes. Yahshua means Yash or Yahoo. No, Yahoo. I can't even pronounce. Yahusha means Yahuwah. It's salvation. Hello, it's Catherine's blessings. Queen to you. Blessings, Queen. Thank you. Blessings to you as well. Golden State, great Golden State. Hello. Is it Starmus? Durst? It's not dust. It's Durst. Trying to get that right. Go ahead. Yes, please hit the like button. Please do. Mr. XRP, you gotta love XRP, right? You gotta love XRP. I know Sheeb Army probably gonna be in here. Shiba Inu. I was just reading something, an article that's actually saying they're predicting Doge to hit $1, right? Predicting Doge to hit $1. Let me adjust my camera, you all. We'll get it right. I'm just so used to my backdrop, my backboard in the back, which I have in a few. This looks a little different from me. For me. Hello, Sparkle Queen coming in from Texas. Hello. Make sure you all hit like and that you are subscribed and hit that subscribe bell as well. Good evening to you, Bearhead Club. You are with these names. XRP, what's up, Gwen? Hello, Gwen. Gwen, I definitely prayed over your Cash App. So, divine love working through divine substance and any all of your affairs, I pray, are prosperous, making you rich and free and financially and emotionally and mentally independent right now, right? So give thanks for the immediate complete payment of all your financial obligations quickly and in peace. So peace upon you as well. We have the 111 formula, which is peace, perfect health, and protection. Peace, positive energy always creates elevation, right? Prosperity partnerships, right? Prosperity partnerships in Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, Elohim is plural for gods. And Luke 11, when Jesus prayed in a certain place, you have to be in a certain place in a certain season for prosperity. So I'm thankful that you all are tuning in here, right? Hit that like button, please do. Hello, Curtis, my friend. Haven't seen you checked in a while. Guess what? I actually heard from Jesus a couple of days ago. He said he came in and said hello. I hadn't heard from Jesus in a while, and I still hear from Philip. Philip every now and then. Peace to you, divine love, right? Peace to you as well. And is that Tacoma, Washington checking in, right? Gwen, you got it, Gwen. Gwen says because giving is her first step in receiving, right? Her giving makes her rich. It is. Your giving is your first step in receiving, and your giving makes you rich. So let me give you some rich knowledge as well so you can make some rich moves, right? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So I was reading this article. Thank you all for coming in on a Saturday. If you are watching this on the replay, believe it or not, even on the replay, when people drop their city and state, I say hello. So drop it in the comments if you are watching this now on the replay, if you're not in the live stream. So the U.S. Federal Reserve may shake up. Somebody says it's going to be bigger than a shake up. It's going to be a shake out, but may shake up the financial world with this US digital dollar. That's cool because we are playing. Listen, I've been in a conference the last 3 days, and I heard someone says that um um some people are playing Connect Four, for example, right? She was like, Connect Four is the easiest game there is to win. You just be the first one normally to put your piece in the slot, and you can easily win. Some people are playing checkers. We're at least trying to get you out. I'm trying to at least get you to play chess because the government is playing poker, people. The government is playing poker. So you at least have to play the game of chess, right? And we are making chess move. Curtis says buying assets in 2022, not selling my crypto, increasing network. Of course, that's smart. Why sell your assets when we are heading into a depression? That's why I tell people all the time, because this is what a lot of people do, Curtis. They just take their crypto and put it back into a cash base or a checking account, which is on schedule to crash anyway. So you're taking an asset and convert. And this is the thing, Curtis, people have to understand, right? People have to understand is that I saw Dr. Boris Watkins' video on this is investing, it's not gambling. Some people take this as gambling, right? I get it. Solana, for example, a 9,000% return, right? Dogecoin for the year, I think, has a close to 10,000% return, even though Doge over the last couple of months have stayed at their 20-cent mark, but it did hit a 72 cents all-time high. Big gain. Shiba Inu in the last 3 days, 300%. And there are some cryptocurrency that I probably will flip. But even when I flip my crypto, when I say flip, I mean convert it back into cash, into a banking account. I'm taking that money into that banking account and I'm converting that into some type of asset. I'm just not having money sit in my bank account, right? In the event that by December, when these banking systems crash, I don't want a limit on how much money I can transaction with in a banking account, or altogether have a crash in my banking account that I can't access any cash. Now, having cash on hand is smart, a little cash on hand is smart, but you got to think about it. Once this cash system is completely right overhauled and prices are skyrocketing, as I read something on Google today about the energy prices are about to increase. So more people will be I think like silver is 22 cents an ounce, right? 22 cents an ounce, right? Of silver. So you'll have more stores and institutions that would accept a silver coin from you for purchases than they will the dollar. That's just how bad of condition the dollar would be, right? Even when it goes through the process and the process of going to Fed coin, you're going to have more people like Venezuela dollars, and they're like, we don't even want this stuff. So you having it is good to pull it out the banks in a sense, but what's even better, right? Just before it get to that point, before stores have stopped accepting it, right? But what's even better, people, is at least you had coin. I mean, of silver, because silver is going to be twofold. It's going to be for let's go to my website real quick. It's going to be for industrial use as we're moving to EV, electronic vehicles, and it's going to be for monetary use. So when you go to fixmycreditandcash.com, and I'm probably going to increase the price on this, right? I'm probably going to increase the price on this. But this is why I have the cash to crypto report and the silver stacking report. I don't know if you all know this or not, but ancient Egyptians actually value um, silver over gold, right? They value silver over gold. So this is why I have the silver stacking report, because you all need to know what type of silver and crises that these local stores will be accepting. You don't need to invest in collectible type silver, most definitely. And you need to know what's the difference between bars and rounds, and people at $22 an ounce. That's like, I don't know, that's like a great asset, I think, to have on hand immediately for spending out of this crash. Low Roller Stratcher says, yeah, I did hear that Google will accept crypto. I did read that. That's hot news as well. Hello, Helen. Thanks for tuning in and saying hello. Hello to you as well. Um, Gwen says her second banking account I have is pretty much shut down right now. They're saying it's because another bank is taking over BBVA. So with do you have access to your money? Bruh XRP says his bank accounts are Exodus, Celsius, and Atomic wallets. Those are all wallets for cryptocurrencies, and that's a very intelligent move. Um, bruh, bruh, XRP. Hello to you, billionaire. Gotta love that. If you got any amount of Bitcoin in your portfolio, you might as well go ahead and call yourself a billionaire, right? If you hold it. So, U.S. Federal Reserve may shake up the financial world with the US dollar. This is October the 8th. You all know what 8 means. You all know what Oct mean. October is the 8th month as it relates to the octagon and octopus who has 8 tentacles, right? October is the 8th month. We know that on my channel, we go by the Jewish calendar, not the Gregorian calendar, not the United States calendar, but the Jewish calendar, because those calendars operate by the Bible, right? And we know the Bible, it gives us the formula and the predictions for all of this if you know how to interpret it. So, United States Federal Reserve may shake up the financial world with its U.S. digital dollar. It's planning on, let me exit this out. The United States Federal Reserve has said it's planning on reviewing the risks/benefits of implementing a U.S. digital currency. We know that's in the works already. ISO 222 updated Monday of this week have already have the Fed wire and the Fed coin already implemented, right, and approved upon. However, that that's information that you have to read and research for, right? So not just public information for those who are not looking for that information. So a new report from the Wall Street Journal states that within the coming weeks, as early as you all see this, like, oh my God, I'm just joking. Within the coming week, or as early as next week, do you all see that? Oh my God, here we go, my Bible people. Let's see, the Lion's Den. I love that name. Actually, I just gave, I won't say gave, well, I did give a great man of God. I can tell by his spirit, a platinum people lion coin. I gave that into this to his life. That I think he said what $1,300 right now. That platinum, my platinum lion. series, platinum. I gave that to a man of God today. I felt that that was good person to give to. Um, so Ecclesiastes 43:7, from the moon, from the moon is the sign of the feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. Ecclesiastes 43:8. Eighth, the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully, and her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. Right? Pleased to meet you as well. I love those scriptures. Thank you for sharing that. Divine love says, no doubt, yes, it's about to be flipped. What do I stack? Government backed bullion, rounds of bars. Um, I stack bullions, rounds, and bars that do not have to be reported to the IRS on the resale of it, that do not require 1099. Hello, Trevor Martin. That's a new picture for you. That's different. Thank you so much. He says, love my channel. I love people that love my channel. Thank you so much. Um, what crypto from the UK? Thanks for tuning in from the UK. I have a cash on crypto report that it's an e-booklet. I highly recommend that people invest in, especially if you are beginners or intermediate, even advanced. Right? It's a breakdown of crypto, and this is the thing. I think people have to understand is that I highly suggest just a portfolio of cryptocurrencies that keeps you well balanced. It keeps you from the need of having to go back and just, as our ancestors would say, you never put all your eggs in one basket. And it takes the need out of having to just constantly cash out and waiting on one or two cryptos. And that's actually biblical Ecclesiastes 11 says, cash your money, right? Your dough, your cash upon the waters, and 7 to at least 8, right, sources or rivers of currency, of income. So at minimum, right, I think people should have at least 7 to 8 in their portfolio at minimum. That way, if you do have to take out one, right, the other ones are continuously working for you, and you can keep those for long term wealth, right? Long term wealth, and to keep you in millionaire and billionaire status, not just thousandaires. Usually, people that's flipping this are only going to come out on thousands. We want millionaire, billionaire status. Why do you want that, queen? Listen, why not? This is the greatest wealth transfer that this generation has ever experienced, right? If you, and guess what? In my opinion, my humble opinion, cryptocurrency is so easy. All you got to do is buy and hold, right? This is investing. This is not gambling. All you got to do is buy and hold. Now, if you have essential needs, essential bills, and it's keeping a roof over your head and food on your table, then yes, take out your gains, right? But other than that, if you're looking to MBA, never be broke again, ever, and you're looking at the lowest taxation strategy of investing, I tell people this is my 369 formula, right? This is my 369 formula. Um, in 3 days, right? Whether you are watching this live or on the replay, I want you to put 3 days, 3 days, right? If you have a paycheck, the very first thing that I position you all for is to get more money out of your paycheck by means of analyzing your paycheck with IRS experts to see if you're overpaying in taxes, right? To see if you are overpaying in taxes. So let's first do that. Let's first look at your immediate source of instantaneous cash flow. That's right. That's right. Put 3 days in. Make a mind message connection, people. 3 days. The sixth formula, you all know Nikola Tesla, right? You all know who Nikola Tesla is. You got to know who Nikola Tesla is. If you don't know who Nikola Tesla is, let me introduce you, right, to Nikola Tesla. Um, Again, people, Dogecoin, and she, I just read an article that Doge is still in collaboration with Ethereum, and it's Ethereum's co-founder is working with Doge, and it's still right. It is still the predicted to at least hit $1, and she is going to continue through this bull run through as we're going to see throughout the year to increase and gain as well, right? Increase and gain as well. So if you go to YouTube, um, Nikola Tesla actually studied ancient Egyptians. He studied their math skills. He studied the pyramids. He brought it back to the United States. And he was a man before his time. Actually, when he died in his New York hotel room, uh, Donald Trump's uncle, John Trump, was the first one in his hotel in New York when he died. And a lot of his patents and discovery through energy, which is what cryptocurrency is, it's a transfer of energy. This man was a genius of able to study, right, the ancient Egyptians. And if you look, it talks about vortex math and 369 being the key to the universe. I probably watched this when I finished my live stream. Why did Nikola Tesla say that 369 is the key to the universe? So he was able to take ancient Egyptians' theory and pyramid uses of energy and bring wireless energy in the 1890s and 1900s. And if you look at this call on this video that I have my pointer on, this is the thing. Nikola Tesla, right, created wireless power again in his lab, early 1900s, right? Look at 1900s, I kid you not. And he knew that during this creation, he was able to show that if you had a wireless coil and a fluorescent bulb within 6 feet within one another, a transfer of wireless energy could happen. And this is why when the C19 first came out, right, they wanted people to be 6 feet apart in distance because anything within that 6 foot parameter is a transfer of energy. And if it's positive energy, it transfers. Likewise, negative energy, but definitely did not want any positive energy transfer to happen. See, that's why the 6 foot rule was in doing this. And this is why many people got sick because of the radiation that was released through the towers that were built, right? In order to bring in this new currency system, which we are a part of. So 3 days, you get an instant pay raise. If you have a paycheck, right? 6 days. Now the goal is that now you have earned income from a job, or linear income means every time you labor, right? You get compensated. If you don't show up to work in some form of fashion, you don't get paid, right? And so for a person that may get sick from radiation, that's a big deal, right? So we want to shift that type of income from just I can only get paid when I perform a job or labor to now business income. Business income is broken down like this. John D. Rockefeller said, I would rather get earn money from 1% of 100 people than 100% of my own, right? So that's called leverage income. Leverage income is better than labored income. That means it works just not off your energy and efforts, but the energy and efforts of other people as well, right? We call that prosperity partnerships. We call that collaboration for cash flow. Collaboration for cash flow. That was good. That just came to me. I never said that before. Collaboration for cash flow. And then the nine formula is to get you investing income. And see, this is the thing. This is why many people have to dip back into their asset, which is crypto, right? Because they don't really have investing income. They have labor income, and they're using their labor income to play a gambling game, right? It's nothing wrong with having a job, but you do understand that having a job or having a specialist, being a doctor or a lawyer, right, or anyone that's in that six-figure income bracket of $500,000 or less, then you are taxed, because not only do you pay taxes or you taxed on the money that you earn, but you have to pay taxes for your employees. So that bracket is taxed 40 to 60%. If you have a job, you're taxed 30 to 40%. So the nine formula is to get you investing income so that your money can stay and it can continuously grow. We do that two ways, right? Through the energy and efforts. John D. Rockefeller was the richest man, richest pioneer in the United States. So through the energy and efforts of other people, right? And and through lowering your taxes. These three letters keeps people in debt and they don't even know it. But the rich and wealthy do. And that's the IR to the S. The IR to the S, right? Um, you need to get rid of the Federal Reserve for men, gold, and silver standards. The Federal Reserve is not going anywhere, right? Tax invasion does not work. Definitely ask Wesley Snipes, ask anybody else that tried to do that. It is best just to learn how to play the game the right way. And keeping your crypto for years upon years upon years, because I do think a lot of more assets are going to get into is going to go on sale. In a sense, I think we're going to see a housing market crash in December. You're going to see more real estate now, even though it's overpriced at this time, but it's going to be underpriced, right? Um, you're going to see a lot of more assets that come up for sale. To me, that's a great time. That's a great time to flip your crypto, right? That's a great time, in my opinion, to flip your crypto to get a tangible asset. But if you're not doing that for this reason, then I will question, why are you selling the asset? Because getting in now is equivalent to, or it's the same as getting in at Amazon, right? Or IBM at its ground level stages. At its ground level stages. So this is the greatest wealth transfer. Now, do not get it twisted. Do not get me wrong, right? You are going to see the ugliest transfer that ever happened first. This is going to get way more uglier first, right? Um, than it will better. It's just a transition phase. That transition phase is going to look very ugly. So you need to store food, specifically canned foods that have long shelf life, right? Um, no, I don't give any specific cryptos on my channel, because I have a book that people can invest in. It's Cash on Crypto, and it's crypto with a K. And you can get all the information you need. And the reason why I don't give free crypto or suggestions on my channel, I do talk about cryptocurrencies sometimes specifically, like, but I don't give a list of coins, because there is a universal law that calls an exchange of services, right? So if I'm giving you cryptocurrencies and that's helping you financially, and then you invest nothing into me, then that's a illegal exchange of services. So just invest in the book, cashoncrypto.com, and then that way the exchange of services will be universally in alignment, and both parties can be fulfilled, right? So no, I don't do that. People in my Patreon gets the behind the scenes because they invest in that. So I go into that with my Patreon members and my Patreon people only. So if you're interested in being a Patreon member, just let me know. I give you the link, or you can invest in the book, and that's Cash on Crypto with the K. So the U.S. Federal Reserve will be revealing detailed plans of central banks' digital currency that can very well shake up the global financial market. Unlike Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, if the Fed decided to release its own digital currency, it will be backed by the U.S. central bank as U.S. paper dollars and coins are. Now, you do know that the paper dollars are no longer, right, backed by any type of commodity. It's no longer backed by any type of commodity such as gold or oil. It was backed by oil at one point, and that's when the United States made a deal forcefully with Saudi Arabia, right? But now it is definitely not backed by gold. That stopped in 1971 under President Nixon. And now Saudi Arabia has Russia army backing them. So Saudi Arabia is no longer exchanging the United States dollar. Neither is Russia and neither is China. So other countries globally, right, have already dumped the dollar. The only people that really have the United States dollar is the United States citizens, right? That's it. So thank you, Wealth Builder. I do appreciate. And hold on, I thought I was putting someone asked for. Hold on, I thought there was the link to my Patreon. I don't think it is. I think it's something else. So this is the link to my Patreon. I don't know what I just put in there. It's probably this YouTube link to a video, but that's my Patreon link here. And so let's go back. So the digital currency will be backed by the feds, which means that the Fed is currently very divided on the release of the U.S. digital currency. They're also still divided, although it's looking like the national debt will be extended to December. But um, the government has already made a statement that when December comes, they're not extending it again, right? But at any rate, which means this will not be implemented and released, according to this article, anytime soon. According to the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, the U.S. isn't rushing into releasing its own digital currency because it's currently weighing the benefits and disadvantages due to the power the U.S. plays in the global financial markets. Now, this statement says that, but we all know that the global world has already dumped the dollar, and as soon as United States says, "Hey, we are unable to pay our debts, we are defaulted on our debts," then it's going to be official that the dollar is not the world reserve currency. And then when that happens, when that takes place, this is when you're going to officially see the Fed coin put into play, right? Um, Someone says, "You're welcome, Portia, and thank you. First time on. Thank you for being on." Now they have Operation Sandstorm 100. Middle East countries will be put out of OPEC deal at once. So OPEC is related to oil. And thank you for bringing it up. Let me share this with you about the energy crisis. Um, you all, this is going to be ugly. Please prepare and plan. I'm saying, please prepare. This goes way beyond preparing for toilet tissue and for making sure you have. I mean, I'm talking about food, famine coming. People get what you can. As we're going to see a definitely more increasing of gas pricing. They probably want to make sure as many people as cannot do much traveling, especially out of state areas. so that it will cost so much financially. But the United States crisis is gripping the world with potentially grave consequences. Energy is hard to come by right now in some provinces in China, and rationing electricity. Europeans, oh my God, Europeans are paying the sky high prices for natural gas. People, power plants in India are on the verge of running out of coal. And these people, this is going to be global. The average price of a gallon of regular gas in the United States is $3.25. I think in California is what, $4 now, and well over $3 in Georgia, right? Yes, Hillbilly, gotta love that name, right? Says stock blankets. Yes, because they're also talking about electricity outages. Electricity outages. Um, Water pitchers and food. If you can get lumber, if you have a fireplace, or definitely get you a backup power grid, and definitely have something in which you can cut lumber if you have land to cut lumber on. I'm so glad that I am in a family that has land, and that I am in the rural area, or AKA what people would say the country right now. I used to think, I was like, I'd be so glad when I get out of here and do, but I'm so glad right now that I am here. And I'm so glad that my grandparents passed on generational wealth and passed on land within our family. And this is what I'm trying to position you all to do for your children and your children's children, to have that mindset to do that, right? Because that land that our family is going to have access to in this crisis came from the blood, sweat, and tears of our grandparents who earned less, did not have graduate high school, were nothing but farmers and agriculturists, but passed on generational wealth, right? Had less money, but what they did, they lived within their means, and they worked hard, but they worked smart as well. They worked smart as well, and they invested, right? And they had their own farming business. They were entrepreneurs. So the global economy recovers and global leaders prepare together for a landmark conference on climate change. The sudden energy crunch hitting the world is threatening already stressed supply chains, which we already have 500,000 ships that are stuck at ports from Los Angeles, from California to New York, right? So the world is ready for green. Yes, they're ready for green energy. I told you all about Nikola Tesla. See, Nikola Tesla was just before his time. Now they're ready. If Nikola Tesla is introducing this now, they're good, right? But Nikola Tesla was doing this before his time, and J.P. Morgan and Rockefeller and Henry Ford, they didn't want this, right? Because they wanted to make money off of electricity, which was Thomas Edison, and they wanted to make oil. They wanted to make oil. They wanted to make money off of oil and oil vehicles, and then this was in benefit of Henry Ford and J.P. Morgan and Thomas Edison, and they was not going to let Nikola Tesla come in and say, "Hey, we can do this natural. We can do this through the earth. They're talking about right now mining Bitcoin with volcano, right? Volcanoes. So oil prices are surging to about $200 right now. And so if you're in the stock market, I like crypto, but if you're in stocks, definitely investing in these stocks will be a good financial decision as well. Unfortunately, though, it's going to affect the overall economy in our everyday lives as it relates to gas and oil prices and energy prices. I know you all have been noticing that your utility bills have increased. So the economic recovery from the pandemic recession lies behind the crisis coming after a year of retrenchment in coal, oil, and gas extraction. Other factors include people in a usually cold winter in Europe that drain resources, a series of hurricanes a series of hurricanes. I won't even get on heart, but let's go on. There are forced shutdowns of Gulf oil refineries, a turn for the worse in relations between China and Australia that led to Beijing to stop importing coal from down under, and protracted calm spell over the North Sea that has sharply curtailed the outage or the output of electricity generating wind turbines. Right. So, in other words, governments are scrambling, or as they saying, to avoid a energy crisis as well. So, this is what's coming ahead. People, is going to be a very cold financial winter, and in these situations, I'm hoping that cryptocurrency, because we're going to see some dips in the stock market, can rise above them. But as we're closer, we're getting into the winter and into November and December, because if like the government, if they don't announce right now that the debt ceiling, if they extend the debt ceiling, we're at least going to be good as far as crypto is concerned to December 3rd. But when that debt ceiling is not agreed upon and it collapses, that's going to collapse the entire market, including stocks and cryptocurrency. It's going to all take a crash at that time. And then as it happens, right, we're going to see some months maybe where crypto will be in the red, maybe going to January and February. And then as this new world economy comes in and the Fed coin is going to come in, because they're going to have to totally break down the cash system in a sense that is so terrible that people are going to pretty much beg for a Fed coin. So this is going to be months probably in red across the board. This is why I told some people it's not a bad idea to just pay your mortgage up for months versus just having money sit in the bank. Right. There are some mortgage banking institutions that would allow you to pay those payments up months ahead of time. If you have that option, look into it versus just having money just sitting in the bank. Right. And so also getting the Queen of Coins silver stacking reports. And again, I say silver over gold right now, even though both will be used to reset the currency system, but at least silver will allow you to spend it when this crash. And you can spend it to get essential items or whatever essential items will be left to get, because we're going to see a food supply shortage as well, right? And so I'm not as prepared as I know I could be on the food side, right? Um, and that's because I have, confidence that I have family members and people that I'm acquainted with that can go out and hunt, and we can hunt and do things like that and make and survive that way. But I really don't know how. I wish I could learn this if I can turn back the hands of time. How my grandmother, in particular, used the mason jars to store food and vegetables. You all remember that? The mason jars. Man, if I knew how to do that, that's definitely something from farming that they would do that would last them. They would eat off the land, especially during the winter times, right? And so, those are things that's going to be uh, just we gotta sometimes you can't prepare when it comes to the food side, but sometimes yes, canning, some things we're going to have to just go through and experience, because you only have so much room in your house, unless you just want to turn a bedroom into a food storage or a garage, that you can store canned goods and foods in. But it definitely get as much things as shelf life. And then you have these emergency food kits, right? That can help, that you can invest in emergency food kits. So Justin Davis, thank you so much for the 1111 super chat. Thank you so much, Justin, for giving to the channel the knowledge and the time and the information. And I always say this affirmation. Did you all know that speaking words of affirmation increases your blessings that you get from the metaphysical world, or the church would say the supernatural world, by 80%? So when I speak, you speak, because guess what? I know you're giving just out of this goodness of your heart and appreciation, but I like people to give so that they can receive, because that's your rights. So infinite God, infinite spirit, infinite power that operates in infinite love open the way for justice and divine love, immediate supply right now for their giving. Let all that is theirs come to them, right, by divine right, and reach them right now in great avalanches of abundance, and give them a definite lead. If there's anything else that they need to do, give them knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and guide them and protect them during this pandemic, according to Psalms 91 and 11, that you sent your angels to guard and guide us as well and protect us. And Gwen, that's the affirmation over you as well, right? And infinite God, give them a quick, and give them the power of wisdom, but give them a quick and substantial increase in their finances right now, so they can prepare better for what's ahead according to their giving. So thank you so much. Yes, it is good vibes. Hillbilly says 5 tomato plants will produce enough for a family for the season. Like just eating straight up potatoes with salt. I listen. And starvation, I'll do it. I just want to get clarity on it. Did I say potatoes? Tomatoes. Just eating tomatoes with salt and pepper, right? Um, oh, Travarius always shocking me. Travarius, you gonna make me shift into these number systems. You know what these numbers do to me. And number 11 also is two things. You all do know that, for example, January is technically going to be the 11th month, right? Yeah, October, November, December. So yes, January is going to be the 11th month, which is symbolizes disorder, chaos, and judgment, which is really going to be judgment in the Bible. The number 10 is okay, the $10 super chat represents law and order, or law and responsibility. Thank you, Philip. Philip is another faithful giver as well. So the number 10 represents law and responsibility. The number 11 means the opposite. It can mean the opposite. Like Genesis 11, the men rebelled against God and they built the Tower of Babel. And he judged them by confusing their language, which resulted in chaos, right? However, according to Deuteronomy 1 and 11, may the Lord our God, the God of our ancestors, increase us 1,000 times more. 11 also means that uh, wisdom and wealth is transferred as well. Now we look at Revelation chapter 20. The John, the apostle, he saw 11 things in connection with the final judgment. I don't even know if I can go over that tonight. That would just blow my mind. That would just blow my mind. But uh, should I go over that? Because I'm twisting my hair up. I'm probably gonna untwist it. That would just blow my mind. Because Travarius gave the 111. You know, that would shift us real good if I showed you all Revelations 20, the 11 things that in the final judgment that John saw, right? Um, Crypto Toker. Let me read some more of these comments. That affirmation is over Philip and Travarius as well. Travarius, I'm still waiting on your t-shirt too. But Travarius, because you shifted me, I'm pinning my hair up and everything. Put my glasses on for Travarius. 33 vertebrae. that in your backbone. Jesus died at the age of 33. It represents the death of a physical form, which will be cash. And then he arose in spirit form, the invisible form, which will be cryptocurrency. That's good, isn't that 33 good, you all? But guess what? As you see four here, um, Jesus started his ministry at the age of 30, right? And was physically put to death at the age of 33. But he started his works according to, I think it's in Luke's or Acts. At the age of 30, his ministry works. But his ministry lasted exactly 44 months and 4 days. That's where we get the triple 444 formula. Yeah, 33 is good. It's it's the double trinity, but the number 33 is connected to God's promises are made that they are certain. I always say this all the time. The 33rd time that Noah's name was used in scripture is when his son, his special covenant or promised son, was made, right? And when God's special covenant or promise was made to him with Noah. And so the promise is not to destroy the entire world again came with the flood and the sign of the rainbow. And also, not only with Noah was the special, I'm sorry, with Noah, the special covenant was made or promise. And this is where we saw the rainbow, but this is where I'm headed to about the child was born. Abraham, the 33rd time, Abraham's name, right, was used is when his promised child or promised Isaac was born to him. And Abraham people was 99 years old. You all know what 9 mean, don't you? Let's see how long you all been following me. You all know what 9 mean, don't you? Someone tell me what 9 means. Yeah, some of you are rocking with me too long not to not know what 9 means. Tell me what 9 means. The Lions Den, I know his ministry was started in 26, was it 26 AD, which is September 11th. September, it was actually 9/11. 26 AD, was that 26 AD? Y'all got me going to spiritual things. Divine completeness, meaning it is finished. It is finished. Jesus died on the cross, the ninth hour, right? And so Abraham, when his special child of promise, a special covenant. And so the number 11 is the product of 3 times 11. It's God's judgment. God's judgment is coming upon America. His complete and final judgment to the world was ultimately accomplished in the final 3.5 years, 3.5 years actually. So that period leading to the second coming of Christ. But yes, Jesus was placed on the cross at 9 a.m. and died at approximately 3 in the afternoon. And from noon to 3 was a period of complete darkness upon the earth. Another Nikola Tesla 369 formula. So the number 9 symbolizes divine completeness, the meaning of final, divine completeness, divine finality. It is final, right? It's Christ died at 3 p.m. So we got a lot of stuff going on, people. The energy shift that Nikola Tesla, you all study Nikola Tesla. I feel like I'm teaching a class, right? But study him, and this will make more sense to you about the C19, um, about the social 6-foot social distancing. Yes, the ninth hour was 3 p.m. You are so correct. Divine completeness. Yep, divine completeness. And all of this would make sense. So what happens is when you give into these number systems, even though the earth, like 9/11, and the government of the earth use them as a reversal or manipulation, you actually reverse that to use it for the protection. and the prevention of any harm coming near you, right? And anything in this recession that you will be in other words, you will have the peace and the protection and the prosperity and the provision of God. So when you give, because let's go to Genesis chapter 1. When you give unto the message, heaven has a vote. Heaven has a vote on it, and giving unlocks it, because numbers are secrets and codes to the word of God. Did you all know that? Right? See, even in Genesis chapter 1, it says the earth was without form and it was empty and it was void. And there's a lot of areas during this Great Depression that's going to be without form and it was empty and it was void. But when you give unto God's economic system, and he says, let there be light, it's going to be light in your situation. But I'm still begging you to use spiritual wisdom for spiritual things, and people use practical wisdom for practical things. That does not mean that you put on your religious hat and say, God is all I need. No, I need you all to combine the best of both worlds, right? I need you to. I'm almost begging you to please do that. Do not be so spiritually minded that you're no earthly good. Because even though you're giving until Genesis 1 through 11 is way deeper than most people preach it. I'm just telling you straight up, it's way deeper, right? Because we look at the Bible as just stories that happen, but the Bible is metaphysical and is practical, right? So, for example, instead of looking at the walls of Jericho and thinking about those people marched 7 times, let's talk about what are your physical walls right now in today in 2021 that you have built around you. And let's break that down, right? Let's break down those walls. And then those are numbers, right? Like Jericho is 777. The number 7 means divine transition that you can give unto, and supernaturally, if you have mental barriers, those barriers will be broken by giving into the code. The number 7 also means possession of land and territory, right? And so number systems carry powerful breakthroughs and messages in our earth realm that most people know. And as I was saying in Genesis, it tells you that heaven has a vault. God said, let there be a vault between the waters to separate the water from water, right? Separate the water from water, which means the water from the sky, the water from the sea and the ocean. So God made that vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. And God called the vault sky. And that was an evening and it was morning. But in traditional churches or churches alike, they preach a lot of times that that scripture that says in New Testament, whatever you lock up on earth will be locked up in heaven, or whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. But people, that is not talking about locking up or loosing and binding demons. When you're a part of a Pentecostal church, they may teach you that, or non-denominational. They say, I bind, you know, the devil and blah, blah, blah. No, that's talking about if you lock up money, you don't release money. And if you don't give on earth, it's going to be locked up in heaven. So those supernatural blessings cannot flow to you. If you lock up your heart with hatred and unforgiveness, and forgiveness does not mean that you just say whoever did you wrong and ill is just, okay, I'm going to put that out of my mind. I'm going to emotionally forgive. No, it just means to release and let that person go. Right. And so these are all the laws of prosperity that people have to get in, that they have to understand. It is way beyond just think and grow rich. Yes, the psychological part of prosperity but it's not the only law. You have to have the emotional cleansing law of prosperity, right? You have to have the mentality, the psychological, the physiological laws of prosperity, and then you have to have the understanding of the universal laws of prosperity that connects to supernatural, right? The metaphysical world, the forgiveness law. And so it's all of this comes together because prosperity is not just money. It includes money, but it's not just money. It's a inclusion of peace, perfect health, right? As Gwen, let me give Gwen testimony. I don't think she mind. I don't think Gwen mind. I'm gonna give you an example. Gwen told me, for example, Gwen gives religiously, and her mother has this health issue that she's been struggling with for a long time. But her mother was hospitalized some weeks ago, I think. And Gwen told me that her mother room number was 111. And these are just signs. You know, some people call them angel numbers or whatever. But when both Gwen and I alike, when we knew that number, we knew that that was the infinite God, infinite spirit communicating to us that all is well, right? And her mother, end up well. These are just things that God does on your behalf that you cannot do within your own power. So giving is more than just about getting money back, but it does include that now. But it's so much other blessings. That's why the Bible says it is much better to give than to be a receiver because you get so much more benefits from being from giving. So that's my sermon for tonight. Y'all start giving numbers and I start breaking down the Bible. That's how it works with me. But there is little use for debt ceiling in the Congress, but little chance it would go away. So, according to this article, it's almost impossible to find a lawmaker who loves the federal borrowing limit known as the debt ceiling. Some hate it with a passion. We should get rid of the debt ceiling, according to Chris Van, who's a Democrat who participated in several major debt negotiations last decade. Others think that is a philosophical way to get people to think about mounting national debt. And yet everyone agrees that the consequences of breaching the law, a default on more than, listen, people, $28 trillion that would leave the Treasury unable to finance the federal government and send the global finance marketing plummeting, are so dire that it can never really happen. The full faith and credit of the United States of America cannot be questioned. The Constitution says that's Nancy Pelosi in late September. But guess what? It will be questioned. But they saying this law has remained in the book since the dawn of World War One, with no serious efforts to revise it. Just like it has remained in the books that gold and silver is real money. And that's why gold and silver has to be used to reset this currency system. And those prices would just escalate, right? We know that's God's money. So Thursday night, allowing the 480 billion in new federal borrowing doesn't mean lawmakers will come together in a few months to make a longer term deal to pay the federal tab. And this is why the government was just giving money away through PPP, through EIDL, through stimulus, through child tax credit. They know this system is bankruptcy, right? People prepare, plan, give and trust in God's economic system. Isaiah 9 says, unto us a king is born. Gwen says 3 months. A king is born and the government is on his shoulder. His government is way trumps man's government at all times, right? And so, yeah, I got you. I'm reading this script. So I'm signing out, you all. Let's look at the crypto market real quick. Now on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, why it's not risky. This is why I feel like it is not risky to have Bitcoin, right? Um, you're gonna have Bitcoin millionaires and billionaires popping up overnight. You're gonna see more crypto millionaires. And the reason why I didn't get into Bitcoin earlier, I feel like I got in late, which was last year, just because I didn't know enough about it, right? But I know that the federal government people is creating money out of thin air. So you may be asking, well, Queen, what does it have to do with Bitcoin? Well, it's because Bitcoin has a more um, inverse relationship to the dollar, right? Meaning that they are opposites. So as more dollars are printed, the dollar becomes more worthless. It loses its purchase power. But guess what? They cannot print or make more Bitcoin. It's all about supply and demand, which makes Bitcoin more valuable. Now, if you agree with me, right, the feds won't stop printing money, right? And so this system is going to bankrupt. It is going to bankrupt, and cryptocurrency is it is the new currency system. Just like when Noah was built an ark, people didn't know what an ark was. That ark was so big. Look how many animals and people that it held. But there's technology changes all throughout the Bible. And we're going through a currency technology change now. But as that change happened, so many people are going to get financially rich from this that can see and be a part of the change and have more money to invest in this. The more money you can invest and the longer you can hold, the longer your wealth can accumulate. So Bitcoin's at 55K. The double 55 as five is the number of victory in war. David had five smooth stones, right? But the meaning of number 55 also is a reign. It's a period, and it can be a bad period in history. Many judges reign for like 55 years. So it's a rebuilding, right? And especially when you have an evil kingdom like Israel, um, that judge or that king Manasseh of Judah, right? I just start there, reigned 55 years. And so when you have a rebuilding, including erecting of idolatrous or pagan, we know America is Babylon, right? This is what 55 represents, that the reign ending of a rebuilding from a violent period or God's people. And so this is what happening with the number 55. Now Bitcoin won't stay at 55, right? But I'm just breaking down 55 for you. Ethereum is 3,500. Again, I read something that's saying Ethereum may be at 14K by the end of the year. XRP 114, got Doge at 24 cents. I read something that Doge may be at $1 by the end of the year. Solana is taking a cool off. Man, great returns for Solana this year, over 9,000%. That it has been Bitcoin and Ethereum for the year, right? Got to have that soul. And so Litecoin, STZ, just a lot of cryptocurrency. So know what their use cases is when you're investing in it, right? Thank you, says hello, new to your channel, just dig your views. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. IBE, as my voice, people, is getting parched. So I'm going to have to definitely log off. But let me break down the 777, multiple sevens. Is a reinforcement of perfection of God's hand in the affairs of man. Hand in the affairs of man. Seven means divine transition. Seventh day, the Sabbath day, God rested. It is also a holy number, right? But did you all know that there were multiple sevens involved in Israel's victory over Jericho? It was the first battle, right, that God's people waged. It was west of Jordan. And I told you all seven means possession of land, to possess their promised land. So on the seventh day, they circled Jericho. They blew seven trumpets 7 times, and they journeyed around the city. This is in Joshua 6. And the seventh circuit, when the seventh circle or circuit ended, the people shouted and the wall came tumbling down, and they possessed their promised land, right? I tell people all the time to give to the measures that you want to receive. That's according to Luke 6:38 that says, give and it shall be given unto you. But it also says in good measure, right? So if you can, I'm a Libra, for example. Um, I wouldn't necessarily say 7 is completion, because by the 7th day, everything was completed. I do think it was it's perfection of a completion of 6. On the 6th day, God said, this is very good. So no work was done on the 7th day. Everything was completed on the 6th day as far as work, but it was a perfection. So I guess if you add rest in, then it does mean a completion of um, a 7 day like cycle or process. But just know all labor and work was completed by the 6th day. This is why, is it Deuteronomy 15:12? Um, this is why Deuteronomy 15, let me look it up. And 12 states that there 6 years, um, they shall serve, yeah, they shall work or serve 6 years, and the 7th year they shall let them go free. Also, Leviticus 25, that God says you should be slave to work, right? See, working was a slavery system, to labor by the sweat of your brow. That was not supposed to happen, but most people did because they got into debt and they had no way to pay the master back but to work by the sweat of their brow, right? And sometimes people did not get into debt, like African Americans 400 years ago brought into the United States as slavery. That was just that they were cruelly treated and turned into slaves, right? Also, we're going to see reparations as a result of that. But anyway, Deuteronomy 15:12, and if any brother or a Hebrew man or Hebrew woman be sold unto thee, then they shall serve 6 years, right? I mean, they shall serve thee, not three, these 6 years, and then the 7th year they shall let them go free, right? And so the 6th year in my mind equals completion. I don't, a lot of people say 7 is completion, but I don't agree with that, because even according to that scripture, it says in the 6th year is completed. 7th year they got to go free. 7 years you're holy. 7 is the reset day. Is the Sabbath day. It is the perfected day. So that's just my opinion on. And why do all this matters? Because it matters, right? Because people will be looking at 6 and like it's evil. God never said 6 was an evil, just said the reason why 666 is the mark of the beast is because the number on the 6th day, the animal, wild beast, and man was created, but God still said it's very good. But God knows that when man operate from the beast mindset that he have, right? The inhumane, the animalistic, the pituitary gland, and not the pineal gland, which is a spiritual gland, then that's when evil and all forms of wickedness and evil can occur. So we're going to see 666 whenever 6G is released, and they're able to put man into a 3D world, a non-dimensional world, right? So I'm signing out, you all. I'm signing out. I'm over an hour, but you all are in here on a Saturday night. Lets me know you are serious. Um, yeah, today is the Sabbath, right? Today definitely is the Sabbath, but on the 6th day, God said it is very good. Also, melon is made up of 666 as well. So out of all the days of the week, he said the 7th day was holy, but he did say the 6th was very good. So you all get your crypto up, get your crops up. If you have land, get your crops up. You don't have land, stack up your food. People, they said that you can live off tomatoes. I don't know, but get your seeds. People are doing like greenhouses and other ways on a small amount of land in their house or backyard, which they can plant some survival food or get your survival food up. Cryptocurrency definitely is the new cash. So again, the book is cashoncrypto.com. It's crypto with the K because the C, cash on crypto, was taken. So I had to use a K. And make sure that you have Christ, right? The kingdom's economy. Ephesians 3:20, great is he that is in me, that he that is in the world. The Christ is within, right? It's both internal, but it's also external. So do those things and prepare. Also have a plan to work from home and have a tax shelter, right? You do understand that when you shift yourself into a higher income level, even through your investments, more money, more IRS problems. Keep the wealth that you are investing in. And so therefore, you have to transfer your money out and you get that 1099 for doing so. You have 470 tax deductions that comes only from a home-based business, not a brick and mortar business, right? As Les Brown says, we are shifting from brick and mortar to now click and order anyway. You need to be able for this second shutdown to make money from home. You can do that. Go to 111millionmovement.com and have tax shelters and build your investment income. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I pray with good of all concern that you're giving, right? Because God says, He said, I love a giver. And he says, and I even love a cheerful giver. So your giving, as we're talking about the seventh day, the Sabbath day, the holy day, makes you holy. It makes you set apart. The seventh day or Sabbath day, or number 7 means to set apart, to be holy. And it makes you blessed. So because you're giving, or since your giving is the first step in receiving, guess what? Your giving makes you rich. And God says, I make it you rich and I add no sorrow. Only the infinite God can do that. Hey, you all be blessed. How big can you think? Magnify your mind, multiply your money, manifest with your mouth. The power of life and death is spoken out of your mouth, and maximize your mission. Be blessed to be a blessing, because Deuteronomy 28:11 says, I will give you great prosperity. Great prosperity, people. Plenty of happiness, peace, health, protection, and provision, and plenty of money in this Great Depression. Hey, you all sign out. Make sure you shift that cash into assets. Queen out.